one. There it is, buddy. It's all you.
All right. Well, welcome everyone. David Siteman Garland here, and I am super pumped up, and so should you. You should never go into these trainings, I feel like, not pumped up. You should come in ready to learn, get that notebook out, get that speaker workbook out that you can see right here. There's the link, speakerworkbook.com. So this is cracking the speaker code, how to make real money as an expert who speaks professionally. Now, I'm going to kick this right over to our special guest here, David Newman, who's going to be doing the presenting. But let me just talk for a lightning fast second here about David, because I'm not going to give you, I think someone maybe sent a professional bio of him over, but it was so long and like he had so many cool things. I was like, I'm just going to riff on it. So I mentioned this in an email probably about a week and a half ago, where I actually met David when I was interested in becoming a professional speaker. And this was way back in the internet years of 2008. And I went to a conference called the National Speakers Association. I went with a friend who was a professional speaker, and I was introduced to so many different people there. And it's funny, when you go to a conference, and if you've ever been to a conference, you know this, certain people kind of stick with you and certain people kind of don't. You kind of forget about certain people after you meet them. But David was one of those magnetic, amazing, awesome people that I immediately connected with and just thought was the bee's knees, if you will. And as I learned and became closer with David, he's not only a customer of mine, he's a friend. He's been involved in a lot of programs that I've had. We've done lots of different things together. Is that he is the expert in the world, bar none, when it comes to teaching you how to get paid to speak or to be a professional speaker or to utilize speaking to sell your other products and programs. There's lots of different things that you can do here with David. So he is the man when it comes to this, and he's someone that I trust 1,000 million %. And besides that, he's had over 600 paid speakers. So he puts his money where his mouth literally is. So without further ado, Dr. Professor David Newman, the floor is all yours. So get ready, sit back, turn everything off, get ready, except this, don't turn this off. Get ready to learn, take notes, and get ready to take action. So David, it's all yours, my man.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. So let's cut right into why you're here. Let's get right down to business. So you are in the right place, my friends, if you are currently launching your speaking-driven business, and we'll talk about what that is in a moment, and you want to make it happen fast. You're in the right place if, as a coach or a consultant, you want a more secure and profitable speaker/expert/mediapreneur type of platform. Maybe you've got great content. Maybe you already have that course up and running. You've got a blog or a podcast or an awesome YouTube channel. Maybe you're already doing some coaching and consulting work. You get great results for your clients, but you're just lost in the noise and you're tired of feeling like that best kept secret in your industry or your topic or your niche. So it doesn't matter where you are in your professional speaking journey. Never been paid to speak a lot, anywhere in between. We will definitely have something on this masterclass here to help you. So here's our agenda. Here's our game plan. This is for all the right brain people that, left brain, all the left brain. See, I can't even get that right. This is for all the left brain people that need the agenda, the what's coming up, what are we doing? So you're going to get a very specific, proven 7-step process for speaker marketing success. We're going to talk about 5 strategic shifts so that you stand out from the crowd in today's expert speaker marketplace. 5 must-have assets for your speaker toolkit. Pricing. We're going to talk about pricing and money and fees, and this screws so many people up so badly for years and years and years. We're going to unpack that for you right here, right now on today's program. And then some rookie costly mistakes to avoid and some next steps to help you make it happen. So that is our agenda for this masterclass. As always, in DSG land, I have set aside a huge tract of time for any and all questions at the end. Massive Q&A at the end. Stick around, hang out. I am happy to hang out here until every last question is answered. I'm here to make sure that you get what you need to be successful with this ASAP. Another bribe besides the Q&A is if you hang out till the end, we have an ethical bribe for you guys. It's my about 35-page workbook called 7 Strategies for speaker selection guaranteed to turn your clients on. And this is exactly what the meeting planners, conference producers, and association executives are looking at, because that's who I wrote it for. So I wrote this for buyers. I didn't write this for guys like us and gals like us. I didn't write this for the mediapreneur, speaker, expert, coach, consultant. I wrote this for the other side of the table. So imagine if you had their playbook, what to look for when hiring a speaker, their playbook on closing the deal, their playbook on negotiating and speaking agreements. So that's what you're getting, in addition to 17 answers to how much do you charge when they ask that question too early in the speaker sales process. And then how to generate leads from every speech is a little 7-minute training video that I have, a private video on my YouTube channel that I will also share with you guys. So let's talk about the good, the bad, and the ugly of how I have the privilege of coming to you with this information. Here is the perilous journey. Here's all the crazy stuff I did wrong. So I actually started out in theater. I have a Master of Fine Arts degree, not in acting, but in stage directing. And while I was in graduate school getting that MFA degree, I was also teaching. I was teaching theater courses. I was teaching English as a second language. A friend of mine taps me on the shoulder and says, "Hey, Newman, I don't know about this theater thing. You probably can't make a living there, but this teaching thing you're pretty good at, and maybe you can make a living for companies doing that, and that's called corporate training." So that kicked off my 10-year corporate training career. Had a great time, made a ton of money, was very successful. 2002, went out on my own as an entrepreneur, speaker, consultant, mediapreneur guy, and it was a disaster. I mean, I had no contacts, I had no business sense, I had no marketing sense, I had no sales sense, literally no idea what I was doing, stumbling and fumbling. Even a blind squirrel occasionally finds a nut. Literally struggled for years, about 3.5 years, and I'll tell you more about that here in a second very quickly. But it was ugly. It was ugly, and it wasn't even so much ugly, it was brokey. It was brokey. I think DSG knows what I'm talking about when I say brokey, that you're doing all this work, and you're not making the money that you deserve, and it kind of sucks. It just sucked. It was terrible. So let's talk
it's one of those things when you go in, by the way, when you go in with like kind of no plan, that's what ends up happening is chaos, chaos and mischief, and rarely money.
Chaos, mischief, and mayhem. That should have been on my business card. So mistake number one, and see if you guys resonate with this, just type in yes in the question box. I went out, my first company name was 360 Philadelphia. Stupid name. Here's my workshop list. This is called being a grocery bag speaker. Let me go back in the slides. See that? That's a grocery bag. That's a little bit of everything. You got the carrots, the onions, the eggplant, the bananas, the meat, the fruit, the Cheerios, the Fruit Loops. I was every Tom, Dick, and Harry kind of speaker. If you guys started this way, or maybe your business is this way now, please make me feel like I'm not alone. Type in yes in the question box. If at any point in your career, you went out there as the grocery bag speaker, grocery bag coach, grocery bag expert. Is it just me? Maybe it's just me.
It's Sean saying yes, and Keith and yes, and Anna's yes, and Michelle's yes. And Scott's asking, did you just call me a banana and a Fruit Loop? I believe you did, which is totally fine.
Exactly right.
And by the way, it's funny here because it says, Kathy's saying that list made my head hurt. Yeah, totally understand. And by the way, fully aware here, David, that we've got lots of people that have tried this, and also lots of people brand new to learning about speaking here today, which is totally awesome. So either way, you're definitely in the right spot.
And again, this could be any part of your business. This could be as an infopreneur, or as a coach, or as a consultant, or as a trainer, or any of it. So mistake number two was total brand confusion. Stupid naming. I mean, this is my website, an actual screenshot from the Wayback Time Machine back in 2005. Company name was Unconsulting. And even the call out is confused. Solopreneurs, consultants, coaches, salespeople, business owners, yak farmers, cow milkers, whoever you are, I have something for you. And I didn't nail down a target market. I kept changing brands. I kept changing identities in the marketplace. And then mistake number three, third big mistake, is the imposter syndrome. And thinking that I wasn't good enough, I wasn't smart enough, what am I really an expert in? So that led to nightmare partnerships from hell. partnering up with people I should have never partnered up with. The only silver lining on this is that this landed me on the pages of the New York Times in an article that you can still find online called "Friends Don't Always Make Good Partners." And look, I've highlighted parts of this article for you guys. Take poor little David Newman of Bryn Mawr, Pennsylvania. $45,000 in debt. We were doing this workshop, this ill-fated workshop, this public seminar. The conference center was after us for another $95,000. And when my supposed business partner says to me, "We better get separate lawyers," I knew we were in trouble. I knew this was going south. I knew this was going to get ugly. So these are just horrible, horrible, horrible mistakes. So let's recap, right? First 3 years, totally lost in my business, slowly going broke. 2005 to 2008, really buckled down. Really started to study, improve, figure things out, master some of the marketing and sales and business development. The real turnaround was around 2008, 2009, all the way through to today. And I'm very pleased and proud to tell you that every year since 2009, I've had a multiple six-figure hybrid speaking, training, and coaching business. Quick update. In 2015, we punched through the 500K barrier, a little bit more in 2016. And my theme and my mantra and my hope and wish and intention is 7 figures in 2017. We're a little bit behind that right now, but I think we're going to catch up. Now, I share none of that with you to brag. I tell you that as lost and screwed up and crazy and misguided as I was at the beginning, you can totally turn this around. And it wouldn't have to take you 15 years. It took me 15 years to be an overnight success. Now with the clients that I'm coaching and mentoring, we're seeing results in weeks. We're seeing results literally in weeks and maybe a few months. And it does not have to take years and years. And it certainly doesn't have to take 15 years. So let me revisit this concept of a speaking-driven business and take your temperature on kind of where you are with this. So by speaking driven, I mean a speaking plus business model. So maybe you're doing speaking plus consulting. Maybe you want to do speaking plus coaching at $5,000 to $50,000 per speaking driven event. Public seminar, corporate speech, association speech, all of the attendance spin-off business. Maybe it's speaking and doing your own seminars. Maybe it's a public seminar business. Maybe it's events. Maybe it's retreats. Maybe it's boot camps. Maybe it's weekends. People are paying $5,000, $10,000 to be with you for that length of time. Maybe, of course, in DSG world, in CAOC land, maybe it's speaking plus online courses. Exactly. Woohoo! Right? So you're charging $997, $1,597, $1,997, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000 per person. You're selling 5 or 10 or 15 of those a month. That's a nice business to be in. Maybe you're selling a whole lot more. Maybe you're doing webinars. Maybe you're doing an evergreen sequence. You can rev that up very, very nicely. Maybe it's speaking plus mastermind groups. So people hanging out with you for a year, paying $10, $15, $20, $30, $40,000. I've got clients that have $40,000 annual mastermind programs. How do they fill those? Speaking. So think about it as a speaking plus 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 model. And my question for you in the question box, type in which of these is yours. Are you going to add consulting? Are you currently doing coaching? Do you want to get into seminars? Obviously, many people are interested or already doing their online course. Are you interested in doing a mastermind? What's your business model so I can really tailor and customize the rest of our time together to really fit what you're doing in the way that you're doing it? So in the question box, you don't need to put speaking because speaking obviously is the theme and topic for today. But is it consulting? Is it coaching? Is it seminars? Is it courses? Is it mastermind? Is it something else that I haven't thought of and haven't put up here? Just type in there what you're up to and how speaking would fit into enhancing that in your speaking-driven model.
Lots of cool stuff here. So Michelle, Kim, and Shane say online courses. JR is saying masterminds. Caroline saying seminars and masterminds. Kate and Betsy are online courses. Deidre is consulting. And let's see, Debbie, Jeff, Kathy, all consulting making a comeback here. Jacqueline with consulting. Maria with a consulting. Sean, online courses and seminars. The list is going on. Brad wants to do a mastermind and courses. So we certainly have a mix here, without a doubt. Kate's even saying selling books.
Yes.
Selling books. Andrew's saying leads, prospects, and clients. There's certainly a mix here of what I'm seeing. I'm seeing pretty much everything here.
And again, that's the beauty of having this flexible business model, is you can make this exactly the way you want it, right? I've got folks that love to travel, and they're speaking their brains out all over the world because it's literally their passport to travel. Some people have small kids and they don't want to travel. They don't want to live in hotels. They don't want to be drinking bad coffee and taking red eyes home for, 2-3 days at a time to see the kids, then back on the road again. So you can flex this whatever way you want it. And that's the beauty of what we're talking about today, is it's not just speaking, like get up on stage, get a check, come home. That's the speaking business. Not at all. It's about building the speaking-driven business that suits your lifestyle and your goals and your revenue targets. So that's the beauty of doing this your way and not doing it in some kind of lockstep, crazy, my way or the highway. Or there's no one way to get this right. There's a lot of ways to get it wrong, and we're going to talk about the revenue model here coming up so you guys don't get screwed up with the fees and the money. But I'm so glad that we did that kind of quick check, because this will fit what all of you guys want to do. The books, the courses, the consulting, the coaching, the seminars. Some folks are doing multiple things, and that's awesome. That's how it should be. So let's talk about the formula. We talked about the 7 steps to get this going right. And of course, this is the magic formula pulled right out of my flagship program, which is the Speaker Marketing Workshop. And we'll chat about that a little bit towards the end here today. But let's zoom in on this model. Here are the 7 building blocks, and we're going to play a little game of Jenga. Little Jenga game, like when you pull out one block and you see how quickly the thing topples. So along the top, you can see all 7 things. If they're all working the way they should be working, strategy, you got the packaging, you've got the focus, you've got the prospecting game plan, you know how to do the outreach, you are sales savvy, and you're building leverage into your business, you will have the ultimate outcome in that right-hand side block, which in the top situation is success. Now, if any one of these is missing, and we're going to kind of go down this very quickly right here, right now. If any one of these is missing, there's a condition on the right-hand side that you will experience. Now, I got good news and bad news. The good news and bad news is, if you and I sat down for a cup of coffee and I asked you a handful of questions about the way that your business is going now, with speaking, with your course, with your coaching, consulting, training, book sales, the whole thing, I would be able to tell in that 5-minute conversation which one of these is missing for you. And here's the worst news. That was the bad news. That's bad enough. The worst news is almost everyone I talk to is missing more than one. Almost everyone I talk to is missing more than one. So let's do a quick diagnostic check on where you are with some of these things, and we'll talk about what these sound like and what these look like. So strategy piece is missing. Let's assume all the other 6 are firing on all cylinders, but there's no strategy. Now you're wrestling with a symptom in the right-hand side column called tacticitis. Maybe you guys know what this feels like. You're jumping from tactic to tactic to tactic, right? Random activity leads to random results. It's like, ooh, what's the cool new tool? Ooh, what's the cool new Facebook advertising, Google, Snapchat, Instapoop, whatever program, what's the latest and greatest, should I be blogging? Should I do Facebook Live? Should I jump from this and that and do all the craziness? Because tactics without a strategy is madness. Tactics without a strategy is frustration and just crazy making. Second column, let's say you're missing the packaging. When you're missing the packaging, you're missing the messaging, you're missing the distinction. The problem, again, the right-hand side column's where to look, is you now have a commodity problem. I call this the same old lame-o expert problem. You look the same, sound the same, act the same as everyone else that's teaching what you teach. You act the same, look the same as everyone who does what you do. No focus. No focus. Oh my goodness. One day you're with the accountants. The next day you're with the pipe fitters. The next day you're with the lunch ladies. And it's squirrel syndrome, right? From the movie Up, where the dog's like, oop, squirrel, oop, squirrel. Shiny object syndrome, distractions galore. You cannot stay focused. You cannot get traction. You can't even keep doing the same thing for 2 days in a row. No prospecting plan. No prospecting plan. Now you're pinballing all over the place. It is, let's see what falls in my lap. This is basically, let's kind of wait for the phone to ring. Totally reactive, completely reactive marketing and sales process. No structured discipline, no path, no plan, no predictable revenue, because you don't even know where your prospects live. No outreach. No outreach. BKS is an acronym. It's best kept secret syndrome. Of course, if you're not making contact with the marketplace, you're going to be a best kept secret in your business, in your topic, in your niche. No one knows your name. You're going out there as a total stranger. No one's read your blog. No one's seen your videos. No one's been on your webinars. No one is in your Facebook group. It's a desert out there because you're not reaching out in any way, shape, or form. Lacking the sales DNA, and this was me. I'm raising my hand here. You guys can't see me, but I'm raising my hand. Slowly going broke is the problem. No sales process, no sales strategy, no sales skills, no sales gumption, no stick-with-itness, in other words. In the sales process, you don't know how to sell. You could be the world's greatest online course creator, the world's greatest speaker, the world's greatest coach or consultant or expert. With no sales skills, you will be doing what I did in the first 3 years of my business, slowly going broke. Finally, no source of leverage. Right? This is the success hamster wheel. This is the gig to gig hamster wheel, where your coaching calendar starts to fill up like Tetris. Your speaking calendar starts to take you away from home. Your consulting calendar starts to get full so you can't even go to the bathroom anymore. No leverage, no scalability, and sources of leverage, by the way, that we'll talk about here a little bit later. Licensing, certifying other people, sponsorship. We're going to talk about that today. You're getting that today. But that causes burnout. So, knowing that these are the 7 symptoms, go back into the question box, help me out. Maybe it's just me. And I can point to times in my career where I've had all 7 of these. My guess is you're not suffering from all 7 right now, but maybe you've got tachycardia.
Jennifer's saying all of them. So let's not sell Jennifer short.
Let's not sell her short. And believe me, Jennifer, I've been there, dude. I've been there.
I get it.
So
I get it.
Type in tachycardia or commodity or squirrel or pinball or BKS. And again, BKS is best kept secret. Best kept secret is BKS acronym. Slow broke is slowly going broke if you were like me in my first 3 years. And then burnout, where you're having success, but there's no leverage, there's no scalability, there's no predictability to your business. Maybe you've got 1, maybe you've got all, maybe you've got 2 or 3. Yeah. And again, be honest here, guys, because we're here to fix this for you today. So
I see lots of mix here. I mean, Maria is saying a big one for me is outreach. Kathy is a pinball wizard with exclamation points. Kate is saying all of them. Me too, Jennifer. Aaron says, LOL, me too, all of them. Not really, but I have an issue with focus, leverage, and outreach. Keith is all. Debbie is saying, this is a good one, sales. I have imposter syndrome and I'm afraid to ask for money, which is huge. A total common thing that is out there. So don't worry, Debbie. JR's got the old BKS, all of them for Anna. Jaxo is tachycardia. And by the way, David, I just want to give a quick kudos to you. I know moving on here. And Harry's a squirrel. Is that this was just gold. I think this right here, being able to look at this, I think makes it so key. So I'm very excited for us to solve these 7 things here.
Let's knock them out, buddy. Let's knock them out. That is why we're here. So now we're going deep. Now we're doing the deep dive. Let's look at strategy. Let's look at strategy so we can get you into be strategy monsters instead of tachycardia guppies. So 5 strategic shifts so that you stand out in today's speaking-driven marketplace. A lot of people think speaking equals keynote and keynote equals speaking. And this is completely not true. So I've had people come into the program, David, where they go, well, I'm not a keynoter, so I guess I shouldn't take your course. I guess I shouldn't sign up for your mentoring. I guess I shouldn't hire you as my coach. I'm like, no. In fact, the trend is in your favor. If you're a mediapreneur, if you're a trainer, if you're a coach, if you're a facilitator, right? What other formats can you deliver your value in? Because the one-way data dump keynote, it is over. It is done. Meeting planners and conference producers are not hiring that anywhere near. what they used to even just 5 or 10 years ago. So think in terms of more innovative formats, on-stage interviews, interactive discussions, group masterminding right there in the room, hybrid keynote seminar, workshop type programs where folks are working on their own actual business or career or finances or parenting or dog training or whatever it is, right? Because there's conferences for everybody. I mean, if you think that your topic is not a speaker-friendly topic, or if there's no association meetings or conferences or conventions that would want your topic on their agenda, you are completely wrong. I mean, I've seen wild, crazy, totally upside down things. There's no convention for those people. I'll give you a quick little story here. There are people that come to your house and pick up dog poop, right? These are the pooper scooper people. There's actually an association of pooper scooper companies nationwide, and there's thousands of them. The name of this association, my friends, is APAWS. APAWS is the acronym, APAWS. It stands for the Association of Professional Animal Waste Specialists. I kid you not. The Association of Professional Animal Waste Specialists. So if you think there's no association for you and your topic, you're wrong, because there is. Number 2, you actually don't want to get asked back. When you're done with a speech, you're done with a program, what you want is you want them to say, oh my gosh, that was awesome. What else can you do? What's next? How can we get more? How can we go deeper? Upselling your course, and here's the magic of this, when you're at the event or even before the event, you say to your meeting planner, hey, Susan, hey, Bob, what do you have planned for ongoing repetition, reinforcement, and application after our event is over? And they go, well, gee, David, I don't know. I said, well, how about we give a course to everybody so that they can go back and they can refresh and reboot and revisit and re-anchor all of the great information that we're talking to at the event. And now you're in a beautiful upselling conversation that can literally add thousands or tens of thousands of dollars to that deal. So you don't want to be asked back, come do it again, do it again, do it again, like a little speaking monkey. You want to be in the business of delivering transformation, not just transactions. A speech is a high-value transaction. A speech plus an online course, a speech plus coaching, a speech plus consulting, a speech plus follow-up work, that's the key to open the door to transformation. And this also relates to number 3, which is I really need you guys to understand this and embrace this. Professional speaker is a skill set. It is not a job description. And what I want you to focus on is all possible distribution methods for your expertise. I even want to take off the label professional speaker. You're not a professional speaker. You're a professional thinker and a professional problem solver. And it's our job in the marketplace to let clients connect what they want and need with how they want to buy you. So don't even have a speaker-centric business model. Have a client and an audience-centric business model. I've had speakers literally go out to the marketplace, offer to solve a problem, think they were selling a speech, and they actually ended up selling dozens, or in one case, hundreds of copies of their online course. And I'll share that success story with you a little bit later. But huge, huge aha moment when you realize that you're not a professional speaker, but you're a professional thinker and a professional problem solver. Now, let's also talk about training. And when I talk to my keynote speakers about this, and again, different audience than you guys here, I say you got to get into training. Training is the number 1 mode of speaking-driven delivery. So what can you do in terms of training? Live training, video training. Obviously, CAOC Nation is all about online courses. Whether you have that now or exactly. Every time I mention that, David goes, woo!
Dynamite drop in. Dynamite drop in.
That's it. So this is and you guys are one step ahead with this, right? If you're following David, if you've been following his webinars and his teaching and his training, you're already one step ahead of all of my speaker clients, all of my consulting clients. They're trying to scratch their head going, online course? What's an online course? And this is why I love promoting CAOC, because everyone needs to have an online course to have this training toolkit in their back pocket. So you can also go down the path of training assessments or reselling some training tools. We're going to talk about leverage a little bit later on today, about train the trainer programs or licensing your intellectual property in your speaking driven business. So this just gets more and more exciting. And let me kind of put the final touch on this with the golden triangle. Golden triangle is the business model I recommend to every thought leading expert. And it's got 3 legs of the stool. The first leg is speaking. And speaking, no matter how great of a speaker you are, all you're ever going to do there is build awareness. Once that kicks in and they realize that they've got a gap, they've got a need, they've got some skills and capabilities and competencies that they're lacking, then they're going to want to upgrade to a training solution. Because the training solution is where skills transfer happens. So live training, online training, your online course. Here it comes. Your online course.
Oh, whoop.
Woo! There it is. Your online course is in that corner of the triangle. Now, here's the deal. They take the course, they take the training, competencies and capabilities get transferred. Now they realize, okay, we got to change the culture. We need long-term behavior change. We need to move this battleship onto a whole different course. The only way that's going to happen is moving to the third leg of the golden triangle, which is a longer-term consulting or executive coaching program. That's where lasting behavior change happens. And then you can keep going around. You can keep going around the golden triangle because then speaking leads to training, leads to consulting and coaching, leads to more speaking, internal referrals, upselling, cross-selling. They loved you in the Eastern Division. They're going to book you for the Western, the Central Division. They loved you in North America. They're going to send you to Europe or Asia Pacific or wherever. You can keep working. And I've got clients that have just a small handful of Fortune 500, Fortune 1000 clients, and they keep working their way around this golden triangle so that you don't need a lot of clients to make this a very, very, very profitable business. So let's talk about some strategic success. So Bryn Tillman came through the program. She says, David's speaker marketing workshop was not only amazing in its content, it was also life-changing in its impact. During the course, I saw a clear path to building a multi-million-dollar business because of that golden triangle that we just looked at. Got 2 new clients just doing my homework. With the clarity I got by going through this course, I will triple the size of my business this year. So this is absolutely doable, absolutely exciting. I'm wondering for the folks that are on with us right now, David, does the triangle business model make sense for you? Does this sound appealing? Does this sound relevant? Type in the word triangle if you are picking up what I'm laying down right here. Type in the word triangle if this applies to you.
I want to mention something before everyone's typing in triangle, and a hell yeah from Betsy White, is that Juan was saying here, I just had to make sure to pump up your ego, D, is that you've given us so much value up to this point. Outstanding, with 4 exclamation points from Juan. So I loved hearing that.
Thank you.
But yes, lots of triangle and also some good questions that we will absolutely get to later on. Don't worry. Uncle DSG and also Uncle David Newman will not leave you hanging. I promise.
Your 2 uncles. Your 2 uncles are going to hook you up. So yeah, exactly. Miranda, Matthew, Jaxo, Ken, Victoria, Jean. I'm seeing all of these. Melissa, Connor, Daniel, Deirdre, Keith, Steve, Scott, Harry, Dennis, Raymond, Jeffrey, Anna, JR, Kate, Laura. I'm loving Betsy's hell yeah, just saw that. And then the folks that you mentioned. So excellent, excellent, excellent. Because again, I don't want you to think that this is about stand up, speak, come home. There is so much more money, so much more opportunity, so much more, so many more ways to help people and to serve people that you do not want to miss out on any of that. So let's move on to packaging. Packaging is super important. A lot of times people ask me, okay, David, I'm brand new, have not done a lot of speaking, haven't even thought about it necessarily. What do I really need to be successful? 5 things in your toolkit, guys. This is it. Single slide. You can screenshot this, post it on your wall. You can wag your finger at me once you've made your first $100,000 with these 5 things alone. You need a specific expertise and you need some enthusiasm for delivering that expertise. You need a powerful brand and a powerful value proposition. We're going to talk about all of these here in a second. It's kind of the table of contents for this next little section. You need a list of specific prospects where there's a high relevance connection to your topic, your program, and the problems that you solve. You need a set of outreach strategies and tools to reach them and connect with them powerfully. And you need some tangible sources of excellence. And I'll explain what that is here in a moment when we get to it. So let's talk about number one, specific expertise. Mentioned this a few minutes ago. We need to be in the business of solving urgent, pervasive, expensive problems. Couched in terms of buyers, not couched in terms of your audience. So what does that mean? That means don't use learning words. Even though we're in the training and learning and education and performance improvement business, learning words will kill you. People don't want to learn. They don't want to find out. They don't want to understand. Use action words. Action words are things like improve, boost, increase, eliminate, reduce, slash, right? All the good things go up, all the bad things go down, because that's what buyers want. Buyers want outcomes and results. So you have to communicate your expertise with those action words that indicate the results, that after Elvis has left the building, after you've left the building, how are they better off? What has been improved, boosted, increased? What bad things have been eliminated, reduced, slashed, right? That is specific expertise with the enthusiasm to position it and package it the right way. Second thing you need, powerful brand. And I don't mean logos and colors. I mean, how are you smarter, better, faster than any alternative? What is the summary, the kind of the quick tagline, the mental space that you want to own? In other words, what do you want to be known for? What's your value statement? What's your verbal business card? Let me give you my magic formula to create an incredibly powerful verbal business card. It's right here, and I've used myself as an example, but you can simply fill in the blanks. Hi, Susan. This is David Newman. I work with blank who want outcome and result. I'm calling to see if a program like this might be valuable for your members, might be valuable for your team, might be valuable for your association, might be valuable for your attendees. So the way that I do this, I call people up and I say, hi, Susan, this is David Newman. I work with speakers and experts who want to do a better job with their marketing and get more clients. I'm calling to see if a program like this might be valuable for your members. And I can say that 10 times a day, the exact same way, the exact same time. That can be an email, that can be a phone call, that can be a LinkedIn message. That's how I get referred. That's how I get introduced. That is my sharp tip of my messaging arrow. And when I say, I love what David said, and I'm hugely honored and I'm hugely humbled when he said, if you want to do a better job as a speaker, David Newman is one of the I think you said the, which I appreciate hugely, the drop dead go-to guy in this business. Why? Because I've said that and I've done that every day, every week, every month, every year since 2008, 2009. Before that, I was lost and confused, but at least for the last 9 years, I had my head screwed on straight, and that's what I've built my empire on. So this verbal business card is the foundation of everything that you want to do and everything that you want to be in the marketplace. Hugely, hugely important. So let's talk about what happens when you get this right. So this is Glenn Carver. He came through our program. He said, hope you had a nice Labor Day weekend, yada, yada, yada. Went through the material with a fine-tooth comb. What a truckload of value and content you delivered in that course. Still blows me away. The important part of this is I delivered 2 free talks to 2 CEO groups last month, as you suggested. That generated a $2,500 gig and a $5,000 gig. The $2,500 gig should turn into my first long-term client. Keep you posted. Also, I quoted my keynote fee at $7,500 for the first time. So I love Glenn because Glenn was a lot like me. He was out there as a generalist, grocery bag speaker. He said, my topic is leadership. My topic is leadership specifically for small to medium-sized CEOs. I said, you got to be out on the CEO speaking circuit, Vistage, YPO, Entrepreneur Organization, Gazelles, all of these type of groups. And there's hundreds of chapters of these type of groups. He went out there, and in his first couple of weeks, this is the results of the new focus, the new packaging, the new clarity of who he is, who he serves, and what he does. And I'm super proud. I mean, I love, just like David, I love sharing client success stories. These guys get the credit because they did the work. They get the credit because they did the work. All right, let's move on to prospecting. Got a fast moving here, zipping through this. And thank you again for the kind words and the questions and the comments. And I really appreciate you guys loving this material. So prospects and prospecting. You need to have a specific list of prospects. Today, easier than ever to find. I have no idea why any speaker or expert or mediapreneur has any kind of problem tapping into a prospect base. You've got Google, you've got LinkedIn, you've got proprietary databases that you can access for free at your local public library. I would also use lists of top companies, Fortune 100 best places to work in America, Fortune most respected companies, Fast Company, most creative companies. Business Week has 50 best places to launch your career. Working Mother Magazine has 100 best places for working mothers. Diversity Magazine has the best places to work for diversity executives. All of these lists, I don't care what your topic is, you want to be selling your speaking-driven offerings to the alpha dogs and the people who are good and always looking to get better. Now, the third source that's often overlooked is referrals and introductions. How to get referred, how to get introduced. What I think you need for all of this, and these are the three sources I want you to use, to make all of this work, I want you to build an Active 20. Active 20 is simply a written, finite, workable list of 20 specific decision makers inside the corporations, associations, and groups that you'd like to get hired by. And I mean specific names, emails, phone numbers, real human beings with a name and a face and a voice that you can reach out to and connect to and start to invite to a conversation about how you can help them. And then the outreach templates that you need, simple set of outreach templates by email, phone, LinkedIn, referral. I'm going to give you one of these right now. You can go out, you can just switch out of here, you can pop over online, open up a new tab, Google the term referral blurb. Referral blurb will get you my blog post about how to create a killer referral blurb. The reason you're not getting referred right now is it's too much work and people don't know what to say. And you're solving this problem for them by giving them a referral blurb. Now, when you reach out to that referral source that you just referred to, because you've started to use my referral blurb to help you do this, keep the emails short, relevant, and always focus on them. Focus on them, their team, their meeting, their association, their conference, their goals, their members. Do not load it down with a whole bunch of me, I nonsense. Ask how you can help them. Ask how you can serve them. Ask when you can have a short exploratory chat based on your referral who just teed you up. So don't blow the referral. Don't blow the referral. And then number 5, a lot of people have this other misconception about the speaking business that you have to have a book. You do not have to have a book, my friends. I'm telling you right here, right now, circle this day on your calendar. Today's the day that you realize that to be a thought-leading expert who speaks professionally, you don't need a book. I'll tell you what you need. You need tangible sources of excellence. People are getting paid $10,000, $15,000, $20,000, not because they have a book, but because they have a blog. And it's the go-to blog in their industry. It is always current, always fresh, always high value. They don't have a book. They don't want a book. They're blogging. Other people are getting $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 because of the articles that they write. Articles on the Business Journal website, Huffington Post, Forbes, Fortune, Inc., Entrepreneur. Everyone is starving for good editorial content. Even these publications that I just mentioned, let alone niche publications with things like parenting and personal finance and career and, you name it, snowboarding. Everything, right? Some people are getting paid $5,000, $10,000, $15,000, don't have a book, but they have a podcast, and a very popular podcast, and this podcast is being listened to. The point is, it could be your YouTube channel, it could be an ebook that you've written, it could even be your online course, but here's what it is. It's indisputable points of proof that you know what you're talking about and that you're awesome. Do you have to have a book? No. But you have to have something to show that meeting planner or conference producer or association executive or corporate executive that says you didn't just fall off the turnip truck, you know what you're talking about, and you can point to some of these tangible sources of excellence. Please don't hold yourself back from a beautiful speaking-driven, course-driven business just because you think you have to have a book. That is completely false. So let's talk about prospecting success. And John Garrett came through our program. John used the podcast specifically as his indisputable points of proof. John says, best ROI a recovering CPA could dream of. Breaks things down into simple processes, actionable steps. I was able to sell more speaking engagements to better clients at consistently higher fees to the point of an 85% increase in income from last year. I booked a $5,500 gig within 5 weeks of starting the course. Now, John comes up out of the world of comedy, and his speaking website is still johngcomedy.com. He said, well, no one's going to pay a comedian more than like $500 or $700. I said, well, no, but what if you use that same skill set and then use the podcast as your tangible source of excellence, connect these two things, because he works in the accounting world. He works for accounting firms and accounting conferences to have people connect their personality with their work and get more employee engagement, more recruiting, more retention, all this kind of stuff. And he went from the $1,000, $750 comedian to the $5,500 speaker almost immediately because of the repositioning and because of that podcast that positioned him with that tangible source of excellence that he needed to gain attention and gain traction in the marketplace. So let's look at sales. My favorite part coming up right here. Sales and selling.
I know a lot of people are biting at the chomp on this one. I've got good questions written down.
Oh, my goodness.
Sales part, it gets people excited or terrified or a little bit of both.
All of the above. So let's talk about the money. Let's talk about the money part of sales. How to make real money. And this is especially true if you're brand new to speaking. If you're brand new to speaking, my best money-making tip is stop listening to idiots. Stop listening to idiots. Let me explain what that means. When people say, well, how much should I charge as a new speaker? Should I charge $500, $1,500, less, more? David, what's the magic number? Should I charge whatever their budget is? So one day I'm at 5,000, the next day I'm at 500, the next day I'm at 950, the next day I'm at a rubber chicken dinner. I'm not getting paid anything. Should I just be wherever their budget is? No, my friends. That is crazy talk. Here's the economic reality about speaking fees. I'm going to lay this down on you right here, right now. And it's not the world according to David Newman. It's the world according to Smart Meetings magazine. So they lay out the 5 levels of fee. This is in their own words. Smart Meetings magazine goes to meeting planners. Doesn't go to speakers. Doesn't go to mediapreneurs. Doesn't go to folks like us. It goes to meeting planners. Here's what they say in this article that's specifically written by and for meeting planners, conference producers, people that hire speakers like us. Unpaid speaker. That means they're mediocre just starting out. $1,000 to $2,500. You get what you pay for, and it's not usually great. Ouch. Ouch. $25,000 to $5,000. Listen to this. Transitioning from part-time. They're not even a full-time speaker yet. They're just kind of dabbling. They're an amateur. They're a dilettante. They're kind of putting their toe in the water. They're not even serious yet. They're transitioning from part-time. Ouch. $5,000 to $10,000, according to Smart Meetings, now you know you're hiring a true professional. And then $10,000 and up, New York Times bestseller, some sports celebrity, some marquee name, like a David Siteman Garland, for example. Woo! Exactly. Thank you. So here's where you need to be, guys. I'm going to bust the secret right here. This is where you need to be right here, right now, because if you charge less than this, you are positioning yourself by price as an amateur, a dilettante, a dabbler, and a part-timer. And they will not respect you, right? When they pay more attention. And this is going to elevate you right into the top 25 to 30%. All the other goofballs and goobers are out there going broke, charging $500 and $1,000. And here's why they're doing it. They're talking to the wrong people. They're talking to the wrong kind of prospects with the wrong kind of language. They're pursuing the wrong kind of events. It's like the old country and western song. You're looking for love in all the wrong places. And you're not even aware. You're not even aware that there's a really high fee. And again, this isn't high fee, right? This is average. And I'll tell you that story here in a second. This is the first line of credible professional speaking fee. First line, meaning anything below this and you're positioning yourself as an amateur. So think about it this way. How much for a new dentist? New dentist doing his first root canal in the office. How much for an airline seat if it's this first pilot's particular time behind the controls of that aircraft? How much for a tax return if this young woman just passed her CPA exam and it's her first tax return ever? The answer in all of these cases is the going rate. You are going to pay what a root canal costs. You are going to pay what that airline ticket costs, what it's always cost, what it's always going to cost. You're paying that going rate for whatever that tax return is. You're not going to pay more. You're not going to pay less. You're going to pay the going rate. So here's your new minimum speaking fee, $4,500. Screenshot this, write this down. I never, ever, ever want you to leave your house for anything less than $4,500. Some people say, is that for an hour? Is that for a day? Is that for a half day? That's the whole day. If they want me for an hour, the fee is the fee. If they want me for the full day, the fee is the fee. If they want me for 10 minutes, the fee is the fee. If they want me for 20 people, that's the fee. If they want me for 2,000 people, that's the fee. Now, again, my speaking fee is more like $8,500 or $9,500 now. Doesn't matter where you're starting. I started out, small and brokey and crazy. I was at $4,500 for many, many years. Then I moved it up. I moved it up to $5,500, kept getting booked. $65 and $75, kept getting booked. Now it's at $85 and $95. I keep getting booked. Now, again, I do much more coaching and I do much more with my courses today than I do speaking because my business model has evolved. And now I'm working with my clients who are getting $45, $55, $7,500 fees for the very first time. But here's the secret, gang. This is not even about you making money. I'm very interested in you making some beautiful money, but it's not about you make more when you charge more. It's about you will get booked more when they pay more. Let me repeat that. This is not about what you need to earn. It's about what they need to pay to take you seriously. Please burn that into your memory banks. It's about what they need to pay to take you seriously as a speaking-driven professional. So let's talk about another success story. Once one of my clients got her head really tightly screwed around this topic in a good way. She wrote many nice things here. You give us everything that we need to get results. How do I know that? I jumped into your program, and after the first week, using the tools I developed with your guidance, I locked in a $60,000 plus contract. Not because we were nickel and diming and trying to sell the gig, but she went in to sell a gig and she realized they needed a year-long training program. And she was able to sell that as a combination of online and offline resources plus some coaching. And she packaged up a $60,000 plus program, not because Copy's a professional speaker, Copy Green here, but because she's a professional problem solver. They had a problem that could be solved with a speaking-driven set of solutions, and she solved the problem. She didn't just sell the speech, and she wasn't afraid of charging big dollars for a big outcome. So, truth-telling time, guys. How much money do you feel you might have been leaving on the table for anything that you're doing? Speaking, coaching, consulting, professional services, working with clients one-on-one, whatever it is you're doing now to make money. Or even with your course. Maybe your course is underpriced. I don't know. How much money have you left on the table by not charging enough or by caving on price? And sometimes by caving on price, and again, my hand is raised, guilty as charged. Sometimes by caving on price, I mean caving down to zero. I mean that you should be getting paid, but you did it for free. You threw it in. You thought, oh, this will be a good lead. This will be a good opportunity. This will be good exposure. This will be good. You know what, gang? You can die of exposure. And I don't want you to pay your dues. That whole thing about paying your dues is BS. Stop paying your dues. Let's start paying your bills. Write that one down. Tweet that one out, people. Tweet that one out.
Write that one down, kids. By the way, real quick on this, David, by the way, Matthew was saying, I can't believe this webinar was freaking free. You guys rock. And I told him I'll send the bill in the mail.
Absolutely. This is a $10,000 webinar right here.
Exactly, but I'm not kidding. It's been that good. I am not one to hype this stuff up. It has been that good. But yeah, Kate's saying leaving lots of money on the table. Andrew's saying we continue to speak for free, so an infinite amount. And Aaron's saying there's a lot of different things in here. And David, correct me if I'm wrong, and if not, we can discuss this in the Q&A without a doubt. But I want to ask a quick question here because I'm like the interrupting cow on these webinars, which I love. We make it interactive. We make it fun. But David, real quick here, there are cases, and maybe you'll talk about this, or if not, we'll talk about the Q&A, where you do speak, your fee is free. I'm putting that in air quotes.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But you're going to make a lot of money in a different way, whether it's selling the course or other services or different things. Right. And I think that is a critical thing because I know we've got people on here who are attorneys looking for more clients. Yeah. We've got people on here that sell a course to busy moms that want to bring in more people to their course, right? So meaning, boy, that upfront money would be fantastic. You could give us one of those big lottery-like checks, and we could go run into the bank with it, right? But also, aren't there opportunities that you can say, okay, I'm not going to charge a upfront fee, but there's ways to then transition it to your other back-end business. Is that correct?
As always, DSG 3 steps ahead. And yes, we can totally unpack that for people during the Q&A. Let me lay the thought bomb on you right now. The thought bomb on you guys right now is, I don't care if you get paid to speak. I really don't. My model is not, let's get paid to speak. I care very, very much. And I dedicate my life and my work and my program and my coaching and my mentoring I care very much that you get paid because you spoke. Woo! So think about that distinction. Get paid to speak, yes, sometimes when it's strategically right. Speak for no fee because you've decided that is a beautiful opportunity to get paid because you spoke.
Love it. So we'll unpack that, David, I promise, because I love doing this kind of like interactive stuff because I got some great questions on that. But anyway, continue along, my man.
So let's
dropping bombs and moves
right here. This is one of my favorite slides right here. How to get to 300K fast, even if that seems ridiculous right now. This might seem like ridiculous to a lot of people. It is not ridiculous at all. So let's say you take my pricing advice. Your fee is $4,500. We'll make that $5,000 just for even numbers. And you're out there speaking twice a month. If you know what you're doing, you've got the game plan, the prospecting, the strategy, the sales, the leverage. This is not hard to do if you know what you're doing. So twice a month, $5,000 fee, $10,000 a month. You're already past six figures. You're at 120K. Just going out speaking twice a month. Now, we talked about training. We talked about training profit centers. Let's say you get 2 training days. Or let's say that you sell 5 copies of your $1,000 online course. I don't care how you do it. You can sell a training day for $5K. You can sell that same audience 5 copies of your $1,000 course. You're still making $5,000, but you're out there twice a month doing that. So that's another 10K per month. So now we're adding another 120, right? So far, it's 2 speeches a month and $10,000 of training income, either virtual or live. Let's say you have a coaching program, a coaching service, a coaching package. Maybe you sell a 90-day coaching package for $6,000, very affordable. You sell one of those a month. One of these people comes up to you after a speaking gig. Hey, David, can you coach me? You ever do any executive coaching? Can I work with you privately? Can I work with you one-on-one? Sure. It's $6K. It's 90 days. Boom. Easy done. Let's talk about it. Let's figure out how it works. 12 of those is 72. Here's the math. Just doing those 3 things, we're making $312,000. 120 plus 120 plus 72 is 312. You think that's too much? Fine. I color-coded these. Just do the speaking and just do the coaching. 120 plus 72, now you're at 192. You don't want to do coaching? Great. Just do the speaking and the training. Now you're at 240. I don't care how you mix and match. But here's the good news. See a little asterisk on the $312,000? Here's the asterisk, guys. This is not even counting repeat business, referral business, spin-off, selling your books, selling your courses. Here it comes. Selling your courses, online courses. Whoop! Thank you. Sponsorship, licensing, train the trainer. We're not even talking about that. I mean, leave that for phase 2. Let's make 192,000. Let's make 240,000. Let's make 312,000 now. I want to do a webinar reality check. The webinar reality check is that just rainbow unicorn webinar talk? Or do you think you can really make this happen in your business? If you think you can really make this happen, and be honest here, there's going to be some no's, there's going to be some skeptics. Type in the word possible.
Sure.
Type the word possible into the question box. Let me take you back to the chart. Is this possible given what you do, who you do it for, and how you can monetize things the way I'm recommending? Or is this completely out of reach, fantasy, smoke, BS, mirrors, webinar talk? Because I don't want to, I hate these webinars where they say, oh, you can make $1 million. You know what? You can't make $1 million. You can't. I'm sorry. I mean, very few people make $1 million doing what we do in our business. Very, very few. Can you make a couple 100,000? Yes. Are not enough people making a couple 100,000 when it's easily within reach? Yes. Do you have to be suffering at that, gosh, I'm making 75K, I'm making 50K, I'm making 80 or 90, I haven't even broken six figures yet? Do you have to be stuck there? You do not. So type in the word possible if this makes any connection, any resonance with you in your world. And again, no is a perfectly good answer. We'll take the no's, we'll take the possibles. I just want to do a kind of a reality check here.
There's literally all possibles, including I got this. And then I think there's like Sean saying, no, not yet. And that's okay. You know what I mean? Like,
totally
that's okay.
Cool.
We're not going to be in one of those overhyped trainings where it's like everyone's going to make zillions of dollars and thinks it's possible.
Totally not.
But the thing is, yeah, I mean, it's right on. We got nothing but possibles and lots of variations of the word possible.
Yeah. I like possible and probable. Possible and probable. Amen. Amen to that one for sure. So let's turn the corner on this. Speaking and having a speaking driven business, the way that we've outlined it here, is an amazing source of leverage. It's a multiplier and an amplifier to what you're currently doing, and it can totally transform your business and transform your life. I personally, as you can see from my passion, my energy, these client success stories that I've been sharing with you, I'm a huge believer that if you are here today, you can get paid to speak and get paid because you spoke way more than you have been in the past. And this is something that's not months and years away. This is something that's literally days and weeks away. For some of you guys, this is something that you can get going on right now. So please remember, none of this is theory. This is exactly what I've done to unscrew my own business from a horrible, crazy train wreck to multiple six figures plus every year since 2009. It's exactly the same principles. Whether you're just starting out, brand new, fresh, never walked onto a paid speaking stage before, or a 25-year plus seasoned speaking veteran, or anywhere on that spectrum in between. And I've taught this to over 500 speakers, experts, mediapreneurs, course creators in all kinds of topics, in all kinds of niches. So here's what this is all about at the end of the day. It's about you reaching and helping more people. It's about generating more money for you, right? And again, it's about what they need to pay. I'm not looking at this as, Mr. Greedy Pants. It's about what they need to pay to take your expertise seriously. Will that generate more money? Of course. Turning audience members into clients and course customers and customers for all the other back-end wonderful services and programs that you have, and attract a whole bunch of new ones. It's about increasing your influence, impact, and income. And it's about being of service to a larger sphere of people, being more helpful and being more useful to the people that you're dedicated to serving and helping. And really, it's about this system. It all gets back to this grid that if you nail all 7 parts of this system, you are increasing the likelihood of your success in your speaking-driven business. Every profit center, every revenue source, every source of income, every source of fun and scale and impact in your business will go up. And this is just a proven system, a repeatable, reliable process that we can fine-tune this machine. If we know that you're weak on strategy, we'll fix the strategy part. If we know that you're weak on prospecting and outreach, or sales and leverage, or focus and packaging, or you pick your piece of the puzzle, there are templates, tools, scripts. There are areas you can immediately work on. Pick up those tools, sharpen those skills, fix those gaps, and make it happen. So I'm not sure why you guys showed up today. I'm guessing because you got some of those crazy pictures of me and DSG making funny faces with our thumbs up and big googly eyes. But seriously, maybe you're a mediapreneur who wants to speak more and earn more. Maybe you're a coach or a consultant today who wants to turn speaking into clients. Maybe you want to impact more people, raise your fees, generate more revenue, and stop being that best kept secret, the BKS problem that we talked about. Or deep down, like me, you know that speaking is the key to unlock more leads, better prospects, and bigger sales. So the obvious question is, how do I apply this code and this system for marketing, promoting, and profiting from a speaking-driven business? And you've got a choice. As always, life is all about choices. We can go left, we can go right, we can go up, we can go down. You can do it slowly using trial and error, or you can do it quickly with a proven, repeatable systems and the reliable steps and tools to make it happen. So one of DSG's favorite guys, one of my favorite guys, is our buddy Albert Einstein. We always like to bring in the big guns. Old Al says, everything should be made as simple as possible, but not simpler, right? So how can we boil this down? What is the shortest, fastest, smartest path to get you from zero to hero in a speaking-driven business? It is the Speaker Marketing Workshop course. So it's your complete step-by-step system. Obviously, as a student and as a mastermind client and as a adherent and follower of Mr. DSG, you know that this course is done right, and you know that it's delivered with love and care and client outcomes first and foremost. It does take you by the hand, literally. Step 1, step 2, step 3, everything that you need to know and do to build, create, market, monetize, and scale a speaking-driven business. I'm going to break down kind of how the modules map to our 7 strategies here in a moment. But there's no ambiguity, there's no confusion. It is filled with word-for-word templates, models, scripts. It's exactly how to. It's got built-in coaching and support to make sure that you reach your goals, meaning that you've got 2 options, right? There's the do-it-yourself, figure it out, good luck getting to the top of the mountain, and there are many paths up the mountain. You can go in this crazy jalopy on the left, or you can hop into this beautiful BMW M4 convertible, and that's the Speaker Marketing Workshop. I don't know about you. I know David likes to hop into his Tesla. I like to hop into the BMW M4. If I had a choice, I know which one of these cars would get me to the top of the mountain faster, safer, smarter, and with a whole lot more fun. And it's not this crazy jalopy on the left. By the way, I've been in that car. I was in that car for the first 3.5, 4 years of my speaking business. And I will tell you,
we've all been there, my friend.
The Beamer's a lot more fun. The Beamer's just a lot more fun. So here's the scoop. It is an online course in the CAOC mold, CAOC model. So there are videos if you like to watch. There are audios if you like to listen. There are word-for-word transcripts if you like to read. Everything is online. Everything is open and available. There's no drip. There's no waiting. You can binge watch it. You can take yourself through it at your own pace. It's totally fantastic. Let's map how this works. Let's just spend a couple of minutes mapping how this works. Then we'll get to the Q&A. We'll do that deep dive into the pricing question that David asked about, when to speak for free, when to speak for money, how to balance all of that out. So foundation, incredibly important. First module is called Smart Start. It's about build the strategy. Build that positioning, the packaging, define your business model, service model, revenue model. The outcome here, my friends, is clarity. The outcome here is laser focus, and we're going to actually eat dessert first. In Module 1, I have some initial outreach that you can do that might get you your first 1 or 2 bookings even before you consume the rest of the course. I know it's crazy, but people don't like to wait for results, so I've baked that into Module 1. Module 2 is all about that packaging, right? Lack of packaging commodity problem, you can kiss the commodity problem goodbye right here in Module 2. So branding, naming, titling, super important things about developing your unique message, that distinction that we talked about, how to do that reposition, that pivot from professional speaker to professional thinker and professional problem solver. That's in here. Focus. Squirrel. Oh my God, shiny object syndrome. Flavor of the month, flavor of the week. Who sent me an email today? What else should I sign up for? Nothing. Sign up for nothing. Well, except this. Except this. Goals, targets, and focus. Please. How to get to the right prospects fast. How to create meaningful goals where you can actually benchmark your progress and your revenue generating activities on a daily basis. So you're not guessing, you're not reactive, you're not kind of flying all over the map. How to establish expert status and go from that best kept secret to true expert in less than 90 days. And then there's also a whole bunch of focus and clarity and momentum tools that I'm giving you that really helped me when I was starting to kind of go down this path of niche expert versus same old lame-o generalist speaker. Prospecting, right? Pinball syndrome, bouncing all over the map, not knowing where your prospects live or who they are or what they want. Prospecting is so important. We've got 2 modules on it. So there's strategic prospecting and then there's tactical outreach. So 4 is all about the strategic prospecting. Creating the target list, creating your obvious choice documents, getting positioned and packaged to go out to the marketplace. 5 is tactical prospecting, meaning you're no longer a best kept secret. Best kept secret syndrome goes bye-bye. We're going to develop some client-centric distinction. We're going to talk about your website. We're going to talk about one-sheets. We're going to talk about your speaker kit. We're going to talk about your templates, tools, and scripts for things like LinkedIn. What to say and what to send in an email. What to say and what to leave in a voicemail. We're going to talk about how to do your referral blurb and how to activate that referral blurb so you get a whole lot more inbound activity and you're not just dependent on your outbound activity. 6, again, my favorite topic, because I wrestled with this for so long, money, sales, fees, and how you don't need to be slowly going broke. You no longer need to be slowly going broke. We're going to give you specific conversation roadmaps for initial meetings, follow-ups, and closing. We're going to talk about how you can talk about your fee and how you can talk about value before we talk about the fee so that the numbers make sense to them and so you get more yeses than nos. We're going to talk about a proactive speaker sales process so that every sale doesn't roll out differently and you're not left to some random, am I in a good mood? Am I in a bad mood? Oh, did the phone ring now? Did the phone ring later? And you have a more professionalized sales process. And then finally, leverage is about sponsorship and your perpetual marketing plan to build scalability into your business so that once you're successful, once you start getting this revenue engine running, that you don't risk burnout, and failure and being trapped by success of being on that gig-to-gig hamster wheel. So we're going to talk about sponsored speaking. We're going to talk about licensing. We're going to put everything together with some good momentum and velocity and some tools that you can use for weeks and weeks and months and years into the future. So that's why it's called your perpetual marketing plan. It's going to be a very finite list of things that you need to do on a regular basis to get the results that you deserve to get. So let's talk about just a couple more client success stories. Then we'll talk about how we can get into this fabulous program. And I have kind of a crazy offer, some crazy bonuses, some crazy good stuff for you. So Karen came through the program. I love the way she starts this. I had no problem getting booked. I had a problem getting paid. She was doing free speaking all over the place. Take it from someone who tried to do it on the cheap, thought I could read the books, do it myself. All you're going to do is waste your time if you're not willing to invest a relatively small amount of money that you'll get back many times over with your first real speaking fee. I feel great about my results so far. So again, from never being paid to speak on one end of the spectrum, mid-career speaker, Lisa Hain says, within my first 2 weeks in the program, I used your material to close a speaking engagement for $5,000. It's not easy for me to express my value. That's one of the reasons I bought your program. I used your exact coaching and tools to sway the client to choose me when their board voted on a keynote speaker today. I knew I needed help with sealing the deal once I had a client on the line. I now know how to do this with every prospect going forward. So Lisa was already up and running, but she had that missing piece of, okay, I'm having a lot of first conversations. I'm not closing enough deals. I'm not getting enough bookings. I'm not making it happen. Now, let's go to the other end of the spectrum. This is my client, Alan Zimmerman, certified speaking professional, member of the Speaker Hall of Fame. And again, remember, Karen never got paid to speak, up at the top of this slide. Alan, Speaker Hall of Fame. Spectrum is everything in between. A lot of people talk a good marketing game. Nobody does it with the pizzazz and brilliance like David. I'm not sure what pizzazz is, but I appreciate the thought there. Makes marketing a joy instead of a pain. And I love the bottom line results of David's work. He gets my highest recommendation. So again, you could be anywhere on the spectrum. Never getting paid, Speaker Hall of Fame. Most people are probably closer to the front end of that spectrum. But this is that reliable, proven, repeatable system. So let's talk about the money. You could figure this out on your own. You could spend thousands upon thousands. You could hire a consultant. You can go to some crazy $15,000, $20,000 super duper boot camp. I myself, when I was doing a lot of one-on-one work, I would charge $1,000 an hour and my calendar would fill up. For 10 years, I had a $9,500 one-on-one mentoring program. For 90 days, I couldn't keep up with the demand for that. I stopped doing that in 2013. So what are you going to be investing? Well, obviously, it is not $10,000. It's not $1,000 an hour. It should cost $3,000, and that's what actually it's listed for on the website right now. So this entire system, we're doing a special kind of DSG crazy town investment here for you guys. We're cutting that down by 2/3. So right now it is $977. Set up a special checkout page, a special URL just for you guys. It's getsmw.com. It's the Speaker Marketing Workshop. That's what SMW stands for. So getsmw.com. And CAOC Nation gets in for $977. $977. So I'm going to type that in the chat window just so you guys have it handy.
Oh, I was doing that too. I got
good.
you.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. You man the chat window. I will continue going because here's the deal, gang. This is where we decide: are you Timex or are you Rolex? Right? Is this worth one extra speaking gig at $4,500 for you to invest $977? I think it probably is. Is it worth one extra seminar or workshop? Is it worth one extra high-ticket coaching client that you can enroll? Someone sees you speak and says, hey, this would be fantastic. Do you ever do coaching? Do you ever do consulting? Can I work with you one-on-one? If you have a mastermind program going, you'd like to start one, what's the value of one annual mastermind member? I mean, David had his program going for $20K. I had my program going for $20K. Many of those people came to me because they heard me speak. They heard me speak and they said, this is the guy that I want to hitch my star to his wagon. What's one consulting client, one retainer monthly consulting client worth? And again, they come up to you, golden triangle business model. Can you help us? Can you work with us? Can we bring you in? So webinar only bonuses. And I told David that I stopped doing this, but I rebooted this just for you guys. I ordinarily do this on a full pay or a 3-pay. For you guys, because I love you and I want you to be successful with this at the minimum possible initial investment, there's a 12-pay that we brought back. So it's 12 monthly installments of $97 a month. What that means is, yes, you can start today for $97. Everything is open. Everything is unlocked. Nothing is held back, right? You get the full enchilada. $97 times 12 months. It's a subscription model. You can save $187 if you want to do the single pay. Both those options are on that same checkout page when you go to getsmw.com. I'm also throwing in some personal coaching, some personal attention. And I'll tell you, I don't know what's wrong. There's 300 people in this Facebook group right now of clients and customers in the Speaker Marketing Workshop. When I do an office hours Q&A, I'm lucky if we get like 5 or 7 or 8.
Funny how that works.
I don't know. It's the world's weirdest thing. And so, well, will there be 50 people? Will I get some airtime? Can David answer my question? I'm usually sitting there drinking coffee. I'm like, okay, who's got the next question? We have these awkward silences. So trust me, guys, there is plenty of time for us to work on your stuff together. It's going to help you absorb, apply, expand, get answers to your key questions. I was going to do, you know what? Let's do the October and the November. I'm going to throw in a September. So this is actually 3. It's going to be 3 office hours Q&A calls to help you get unstuck, work through the program, implement the program, get the results, keep you on track, and keep you moving. You're also getting my Speaker Marketing Workshop Resource Guide. This is the exact tools and people and technology that I use in my coaching and training business. So you're going to get my web designer, my VA team. You're going to get the people that build my landing pages. You're going to get my PR person. You're going to get everything that I use myself. There's a link in there to GoToWebinar, because right now we're on GoToWebinar. There's a link in there about lead pages, because I use lead pages. David uses lead pages. These are professional grade tools where you don't need to be guessing. What do I buy? What do I invest in? How does it work? What do I need? And more importantly, what do you not need? What do you not need to waste money on? What do you not need to buy? Should I go and get a $10,000 speaker video right on day one? No, you should not. No, you should not. So you're not going to see crazy nonsense in there. And all of this is while we're talking, while we're doing the Q&A coming up here in a minute. These bonuses are active. They are online. I'll show you how to get in there in a moment. Bonus number 3 is I'm adding an extra swipe file. This has super important things like prospecting emails, follow-up emails, critical information about your website copy, headlines, subject lines for emails that you need, order forms that sell your back-end programs like your course, evaluation forms that don't just talk about evaluating you as a speaker, evaluation forms that are stealth marketing tools, and all kinds of templates, word-for-word scripts. I want you to borrow them, adapt them, steal them, and use them. That's why they're there. And you're getting that preloaded in your portal just for CAOC Nation, for friends of Uncle DSG. Last one is our private Facebook group, which again, 280, 290, 300 some people. I haven't looked this morning, but it's big. Ask and answer questions, get advice, insights, recommendations. I'm in there a couple times a day answering questions. It's a great place for networking, support, feedback. It serves as your virtual mastermind forum. People have gotten $10,000 ideas in there, not just from me, but from each other. So when you sign up at getsmw.com, that takes you right to the special checkout page, right to the 2 options. I'm going to show you what that looks like. I also want to make this a no-brainer. It's a 100% money-back guarantee. You have 30 days to splash around in here, look at everything, watch everything, take part in some of those office hours calls. You are totally cool. I've got you covered. If you don't like the course, if you don't like the sweater I'm wearing on that Q&A call, if my voice is irritating to you, then you probably shouldn't buy the program, because my voice is throughout the program. But you don't like my voice, you don't feel this course is massively helpful at getting you the results that you want, anytime 30 days from today, you raise your hand, no questions asked, you're out, you're whole, your money comes back to you. This is true on the 12 pay plan. This is true on the single pay plan. If you don't love the program, I don't want your money. It's that simple. I don't know how I can be more clear about that. If you don't love the program, if you don't love the results, I do not want your money. I will not keep your money. So the total value for this whole schmagetti, as we call it, is $47.24. The course ordinarily $3K. On the sales page, it's $3K, not on the checkout page that you guys have, but on the sales page. 3 office hours Q&A calls worth $750. Access to the customers only Facebook group. And again, I put that at $1,000. It's more like $10,000 because people have got $10,000 ideas in there. You literally have nothing to lose. All the risk is on me. 30-day bulletproof money back guarantee. Here's what you'll see when you go to that special checkout page that I just put up for you guys just right now. GetSMW.com. This is what it looks like when you get there. You're going to scroll down. You are going to see the 2 payment options on this one page. You can do the $977 single pay. That saves you $187 over the 12 pay. So yes, the 12 pay is more, right? Because you're doing 12 payments of $97, which is $1164. It's a number that David and I both love because all of our 12 pays end up being 1164. That's how the math works. And so you can do it either way. Either way you want to do it. Keep scrolling down, and hit that big green button that says enroll now, and you are in. And what's going to happen is you're going to get the payment confirmation email. I will see that you're inside the course. You'll be added to the official Speaker Marketing Workshop list of cool people. You will get your course login immediately, the Facebook group invite, and a welcome kit email with exhaustive and complete details will be emailed to your email, so you have that for reference. Of course, you can start working on that immediately this afternoon. You get instant course access with that when you go to getsmw.com. So here is what to do now as we're about to jump into our Q&A. GetSMW.com, special checkout page, very limited, super time sensitive while we're talking. This is going to be active. This is going to be open for you. 12 pay of $97 a month. Save $187. Do the single pay for $977 if you prefer. It's the #1 digital course on the exact step-by-step proven system on getting paid to speak. Your bonuses right here. You can screenshot this puppy again if you want to. 3 office hours Q&A calls with me personally. I will go in. I will help you. We can rewrite your website. We'll do hot seats. We'll do tear downs. We can do anything and everything that you need to get the help that you need inside the program and apply the strategies, tactics, templates, and tools. You're getting the master resource guide, the bonus swipe files, the Facebook group, and again, everything is covered. Everything is protected with my 30-day Hate Newman's voice, Hate Newman's sweater, 100% money back guarantee.
I love it.
So that's David, it, my friends. Who's got the first question? Let's do Q&A time. I'm here until DSG and I outnumber you.
Exactly. So first of all, I just want to talk for a second here, David. I've done a fair amount of trainings, and as you know, I look to only bring on the very best people when I do a special kind of co-hosted training like this. And I got to tell you, the comments that have come in on this blow away my trainings. I've got tons to learn here. I mean, people have absolutely loved this free training here today. And I can tell you this much. If you love the free stuff, you're going to lose your mind over this course. Because I can tell you right now, just like Matthew just said, Matthew just enrolled. He just says here,
woo!
I'm going to cancel 2 other memberships for this just because this is exactly what I've been looking for. Now, as long as those aren't mine, that's a good thing. Right, David?
That is it.
So the thing is here, regardless of where you're at, and I know I've seen some questions of people asking, nitty gritty, like, how much do I then charge and do this? And like, what if I want to do back end coaching and do I do 6 payments? Like all of this stuff, the advanced training and knowing how to do this all step by step, that's what's laid out in Speaker Marketing Workshop. And I can tell you right now, it's funny, David and I were actually talking about it, I think it was 3 or 4 days ago, David, when we were chatting about this training. And I said, well, what are you charging for Speaker Marketing Workshop? He said $977. Then he had a 3 pay. And we said, what if we did that crazy 12 pay that I do in my program? And the reason that we do a 12 pay is because we want to make this accessible, because the faster you get into it, the faster you start, the faster you're going to get results. And that's what David and I care about. That's what we want you to do, is get results. That's it. If we didn't want you to get results, we'd charge some astronomical fee, David, and price everyone out, or go the opposite way and have some no investment fee and no one would care about it, right? Let's see. GetSMW.com. I think you don't need the www. Someone was saying, Brad was saying, maybe that messes it up.
You can do it either way. It should work either way, but thank you for checking.
Should work either way. So I want to open it up to questions here for sure. So make sure to ask them in there. We could talk about the program. We could also talk about those kind of speaking questions in general here during our countdown. And don't worry, we'll leave you hanging. We will leave you hanging. We will not leave you hanging. So we'll make sure to answer it, even if it goes, a minute or so or 2 over, David, right? For sure.
Yes. Yes.
So I saw a question here about the program, because I want to make sure nobody misses out on this. Was it from Caroline? How do office hours work if, let's say, you're in Europe or Micronesia? How would that work?
Sure.
Obviously, it's going to be in American time.
Great question. And these are usually scheduled at either 12 o'clock or 2 o'clock U.S. Eastern Time. And they're always posted in advance, so it's not
Right.
going to be a surprise. We give you like 2 weeks notice that, hey, gang, office hours coming up, September 21st or whatever the next one is. And if you're not able to make it in the Facebook group, I always encourage people, post your questions here. If you're not able to make it live, you might not be on live, but I will answer the questions that are submitted. And we can even, I've done website teardowns where people weren't present. I've done copy makeovers where people were not present, but I knew they were going to watch the replay because they were conscientious enough to send things in advance. And I'll tell you, there's nothing more important to me than making sure you guys are successful. And that's for 2 reasons. Reason number 1 is that's just my personal integrity in business. But number 2, selfishly, I want the next success story. I want to put your face in my next PowerPoint slide. I want to put your words in my next webinar. So I want you to say, oh my God, I came into this program and I've never gotten paid to speak. I started getting paid $4,500. Every time I speak, I sell 10 of my courses. I sell 20 of my courses. And I'm looking for those next success stories. And by the way, one more thing about David's comment about the 12 pay. Programs that suck, think about this. Yeah. Programs that suck do not do a 12 pay. Programs that suck do not do a 30-day money-back guarantee. Because if the program sucked, then the risk is extremely high for that course creator. If your program is awesome and gets amazing results for people, it might not be to everyone's taste. It might think, well, yeah, again, I don't like your sweater. I don't like your voice. I don't like using this crinkled paper PowerPoint background that you seem to be using all the time. Okay, well, it's not for you then, and here's your money back, and thanks for playing. But if the course sucked, we would not have the track record that we have. We would not have the payment plan that we have, and we would not have the success stories that we have.
Right. And it's not one of those things that if you wanted a refund, you have to give your firstborn child and like a blood sample and all those different things. That's not how it works. Because why? Because there's confidence in this works. If you put in the work, it's going to do work, right? Now, question here, David, real quick. Betsy's saying, I'm in. Thank you, David. And David, looking forward to learning. We sound like a sitcom, which I just ad-lib that we sound like a sitcom. But welcome, Betsy, to the program. Now, Otis has a good question here, David. How long will we have access to Speaker Marketing Workshop?
Excellent question. So it is ongoing access, lifetime access, evergreen access. That does not mean necessarily my lifetime. That does not necessarily mean your lifetime. That means as long as the course is up, which is, I can't see any foreseeable reason to take it down, you're getting it as long as it's available, right? So it's the life of the course. And it's just to give you an example of kind of that history. We are in pretty much the 4th complete revision and the 4th complete overhaul and update. And, when there's new stuff coming, I put bonus modules in. I keep this thing up to date. There's always updates in the Facebook group. When people are asking, here's the other thing that happens in the Facebook group, guys. I've preloaded a ton of templates, tools, scripts, speaking agreements, sample contracts, proposals. On the odd chance, and this still happens once in a while, on the odd chance that there's something that you need that I have not provided, it's not in the course portal, it's not in the Facebook group, you simply pop a question or a comment in the Facebook group. Hey, David, can I have an example of a consulting contract? Hey, David, how do you want to, how should I price this one-on-one coaching? I've never done one-on-one coaching, and a guy came up to me after a speech. I will answer it. I will give you a fresh template, give you a fresh tool, give you a fresh script. So I'm literally in there kind of gardening and tending and not babysitting, because you guys aren't babies, but I am very, very protective of my tribe and of my peeps. And anything that you need, I give it to you. I add it to the portal. I add it to the course. So please don't think that this is just some disembodied thing that's going to get unlocked and then good luck, have fun, see you later, and you never see me again. I am in there a lot, and I care about your success a lot.
I love it. And it's funny because, we see sometimes now courses, it's like you get access for a year and then you have to rebuy. I've seen courses where they make one small change, like they switch out their face, their graphics, and they say, hey, by the way, everyone's got to rebuy now. Nope, that's not how we roll. That's not how David rolls. That's not how I roll. And that's never how I would allow someone to come in here and talk to you. So you get access lifetime, if you will, as David explained it there. Now, David, I want to unpack something here real quick, but don't worry, we'll get to all these questions. I see a lot here too, but this is one that's come up in kind of different ways, and we talked about this before. And so I know you cover this at length in the course, but I maybe want to give people like a fast tip or like a quick thing here. So, let's say a perfect example here. There was a chiropractor that I went to for a while, and what he was specialized in, which was super smart, was CrossFit, right? So CrossFit athletes. He was a CrossFit athlete. He would focus on CrossFit athletes. And what he would do, and I thought this was just brilliant, is he would go into a CrossFit gym and he would do a seminar for a few hours on mobility and movement for free. Okay, does that make sense?
Yeah.
So he's in there, he's in front of the CrossFit gym, he does a mobility and movement seminar for a few hours. And what ends up happening is a lot of these people then become paid clients, meaning then I had a little nagging thing. Now you're like, well, who can help me with my mobility and movement? And it was content filled. It was great. And then I was able to hire him later on and use him for a couple of years. Okay. But here's my question. For those that are looking to generate leads for their course, looking to generate leads for a service-based business, an attorney or whatever they're doing, is there a systemized thing or a tip there to get people from, okay, I'm in front of the right audience. How do I now get them to the next step? Because for him, it was brilliant, but he didn't really have a system. He just kind of left a business card and you could grab it. So what's a tip for someone that's looking to use their big back end? And you know what I mean by that, when it comes to making money.
Sure. Well, and so we actually do talk about this in the course, but let me also back up half a step, because this also ties into your question about, hey, David Newman, is your advice that we should never speak for free? The advice is absolutely not that you should never speak for free. There is revenue generating speaking, and what this gentleman is doing is lead generating speaking. Some opportunities are both, where we get paid to be in front of a target rich audience or a prospect rich audience. We don't call them target. That's kind of mean. And then, so some opportunities are neither, but you have to make the business decision. Is this a revenue generating speech? Am I getting paid my full fee? Is this a lead generating speech? Meaning I'm willing to waive that fee, but I have a high degree of confidence that my next 3 to 4 to 5 to 10 clients are hiding in that audience. Or is it both? And that's awesome. Or is it neither? And if it's neither, then you should say no, thank you. That you do not want to be in that room with the wrong people for the wrong reason. Now, if you are in a lead generating situation, my big belief is that your main job is not to pitch, not to sell, not to push. It's to offer value and invite engagement. And there's many, many ways to do this. There's ways to do this with online apps. There's ways to do this with, lead capture mechanisms on your phone. There's ways to do this with order forms, evaluation forms. You can have an order form in the back of your handout, for example. And you say there's some additional resources at the back of your handout. If you like what you heard today and you'd like to take this back with you, you'd like to make this a reality in your business, in your company, in your practice, in your family, there are some resources available to you, and I'm happy to answer questions about that afterwards. I'll be in the back of the room signing my books. I'll be out in the hallway. We can talk about whatever. So there are very, very specific, non-pushy, non-salesy, non-sketchy ways to have that back of the room sales conversation. The best way, and what we talk about in the program, is pre-selling it so that it's baked in. So number one, it's not a surprise. And number two, it's not left to chance. And that's, again, dig your well before you're thirsty. You don't want to be pitching onesies. You want everyone leaving with that follow-up step. You want everyone excited to stay connected to you after the event. And there are definitely ways to engineer that ahead of time and to package it into your services.
Cool. Now, we're going to get into speed around here, David, because there's so much going on. What I want to clarify with people too. And by the way, if we get past our timer, we're going here. We might extend a few minutes because we got a lot of questions, David. Is that cool with you?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool. So link will be open. GetSMW.com. Now, one thing I do want to clarify, this is just a clarification. And so people were saying before, you don't have to be speaking to corporate audiences to be a speaker. I feel like that's a big misconception. I saw some people saying, well, I speak to like stay-at-home moms and I would like to speak to types of audiences, it's not just by any means. And I know David gave great examples, but I just want to clarify that. Just about, oh, you got to go in and talk to just people in suits. That's definitely an audience, but there's certainly more than the corporate speaking world. But I do think it's a misconception. Don't you think so, David?
I do. Well, and again, this is what I said about the the Association of Professional Animal Waste Specialists, that if there's an association, there's a meeting, there's a conference going on with pooper scooper people, trust me, there's an association and a conference and a meeting going on with your people. Whether that's solopreneurs, stay-at-home moms, career changers, people interested in personal finance, people interested in dog training, snowboarding. The key is that what we talked about in the teaching today is high relevance, high value for that audience, right? High relevance, high value for that audience is, do you have something to say? Do you have something to share that's going to be really meaningful and impactful to their results?
All right, nice. Now, by the way, we just hit 0 on the thing, but we're going to keep this open here while we're finishing questions. And then, David, you'll tell us kind of next steps to get your free stuff and what to do from here. But here's a good question. Very similar questions from Jeffrey and Connor here, okay, who both loved the training, but they're a little concerned. Are they too early for something like this, right? So Connor was saying, thanks for the time today, is speaker marketing workshop for individuals who are planning stages of launching a speaking business. I love what I heard, but I'm unsure if this is for someone just getting started. And Jeffrey is kind of similar. He said, just dipping toe into the water, not sure even what I'm going to speak on, but I'm interested, most likely sales or business development. I don't know, so much value, really excellent. Am I too new? So I think these are very legitimate questions, and I would love to hear your no BS, honest thoughts on that, David.
Completely right. So here's the deal, and I say this to folks all the time. If I only worked with folks that were crystal clear on their topic, on their message, on their speaking model, on their marketplace, on their niche, I would have no business. We do these 280 graduates. Actually, it's 500 graduates, but 280 people in the Facebook group. There'd be 0 people in the Facebook group. There'd be 0 graduates of the speaker marketing workshop, because this program, and I failed to mention this, so I'm so glad you guys are bringing this up. Nothing is assumed and nothing is left out. So I had a client years and years ago when all I was doing is one-on-one coaching and consulting. And he says, David, your stuff is great, but I need from square 0. I have nothing. I've got no list, no website, no best-selling book, no audience, I got nothing. I am just starting out from the primordial swamp, and I need to know what's step 1. And then after step 1, what do I do next? What's step 2? And then after I do step 2, what's my next baby step? What's step 3? And so I built this program. This was literally 2008. I built this program with that in mind, that it assumes nothing. It assumes that you're just starting out. And again, part of what we're doing in the program, right? Because you saw this, module 1, strategy. We're going to help you decide the strategy. We're going to help you decide the topic. We're going to help you decide the focus and the niche. So module 2, module 3, you have a personalized message development checklist. What am I going to, and it's an 8-page monster document. It's a whole big exercise that you go through. What's my expertise? What's my experience? You do a whole inventory about the things that you could talk about. So market testing and validation. What's the research? What's the listening campaign? Maybe it's sales, maybe it's leadership, maybe it's this, maybe it's that. Well, let's vet that. Let's test that. Let's do a competitive scan, see who else is out there. Where can you add that element of distinction, right? We talked about you got to zig where they zag. If you don't do that research and you say, I'm a sales trainer, the risk is you go out there looking like, sounding like, and acting like every other sales trainer because you haven't done the competitive scan and you're not aware of what today's landscape looks like. You think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread, but all your buyers go, oh my God, that's like 1990s style sales training. Who would ever buy that? That's ridiculous. So if you're not sure on the decisions, you're not sure on the clarity, you're not sure on the focus, you're not sure on the topic, It's in there. It is absolutely in
Got
there.
it.
And like I said,
Cool.
I'm just telling you this from experience. If we worked only with people that were already crystal clear and fully decided, I would have no clients and no customers in this thing.
Right. Love it. And so let's do our final call here now for questions as well. And now let's talk about this. Michael here had a slew of questions, and a lot of them, I'm just gonna be straight up honest. Michael, love your questions, but a lot of these are very, how do I explain them, David? Not complicated, but are things that are very, we're going to go down a rabbit hole of death. So I'm going to try to choose one that we can actually talk about right here. Because Michael, a lot of these are like logistics things, like how do you qualify leads? How do you start applying for an event? Is it 1 year or 2 years? How do you quote the fee and then add expenses? All these specific things like this. David, I hate to use that default thing and say it's in the course, because of course it is. But I would also encourage you to really focus on the foundation before getting into those little tactics. Because then what was it, the tacticitis, David? Is that what it's called?
Yes.
And
Exactly
so
right.
there's a lot of things here as well. But let me choose one here for Michael, because Michael might have set the all-time webinar record for questions, David. So maybe he gets a little prize. Is speaking dependent on the economy? I'll choose that one for you. I'll give you a nice, broad, slightly difficult question here, and also give our final call for it.
Fantastic question, and I'm glad you chose that one. The answer is yes, but not in the way that you think. So when the economy was bad, I'm talking about 2008, 2009, that's when my speaking business picked up. When it was bad again in 2011, that's when my speaking business picked up. Think about it this way. If you're high value and high relevance, and everything we do in the workshop makes sure that you're high value and high relevance, you're the doctor. You've got the cure. You've got the medicine. You've got the antidote. Everything is hitting the fan. There's famine. There's disease throughout the land. When there's famine and disease throughout the land, the demand for a doctor's services, do they go up or do they go down? Right? People go, oh, doc, I'm really sick. I guess I can't come in to see you. No. Right? The doctors, and we are doctors, right? We are solving problems, urgent, pervasive, expensive problems. The more problems that there are out there, the more work you're going to have. So this is about, again, positioning, not as a speaker, because here's the deal. Professional speakers are nice to have. Professional problem solvers a have to have. Professional problem solver is in demand more when times are bad than when times are good. And I'm not here to predict good times ahead, bad times ahead. Listen, people are making money in a speaking-driven business when things are awesome, and people are making money in a speaking-driven business when things are horrible. And every point in between. It's a question of, are you connecting with the right audience, with the right language, with the right relevance, and the right value, so they slap their foreheads and they say, man, Michael, where have you been all my life? Where have you been hiding? This is awesome. This is exactly what we need. We have to bring you in. We have to work with you. We have to hear what you have to say, because it's that important and that relevant. So is it impacted by the economy? Yes, and in a good way.
All right, awesome. So D, one kind of final thing here, and then I think we'll wrap it up. You'll tell kind of people the next steps and bring us on home, as the kids say, right? I guess some kids probably say this, but this is a good question, and I think it's very relevant here at the end. And then you can let us know, I mean, like, is this link going to stay open? Like, what are we doing here? As I know we've hit kind of 0 here on our timer at getsmw.com. Now, I think this is a very valid question from Brad, okay? And it sounds like Brad's seen a lot of hypey CRAP all over the place, right? And he said, I know people talking about doing things in 2 weeks. How much actual training time does it take to get through the course? So I'm going to double that up, David, and say, all right, how much actual time does it take to get through the content? So what's that? What's the answer to that? Give or take.
So 7 modules, again, corresponding with these 7 pillars. Each one is between 35 and 45 minutes of, again, that's if you watch or if you listen. You can read faster than you watch and listen. But that's not your time investment. Your time investment really comes in doing the work. Doing the work, right? Implementation, follow through, filling out the activities, filling out the exercises, doing the prospecting activity, getting in front of buyers, operationalizing the scripts and the templates. So I never call it homework. Homework makes it sound academic. This is the work of the work that you should be doing anyway. So let's assume that you're doing one module a week. And again, it's all open. It's all available immediately on day one, like today for the folks that are buying. And again, thank you. I see you guys coming in here. That's awesome. I would say between 35 and 45 minutes for the content. And I would give it, let's say, between 2 and 3 hours a week for the implementation. Now, again, some of those are 2 and 3 hours a week that you'll be doing every single week for the rest of your professional career. We're always looking for new opportunities. We're always doing proactive, intentional outreach. We're always following our sales process. We're always following up on leads and interests. We're always converting holds into bookings. We're always doing these things. That's kind of like the work a day. Let's make money. Let's get checks in the door. But literally, as far as the ramp up time, and again, you saw the testimonials, folks that are already up and running. Yes, they were getting results in a week or two. Folks that were not yet up and running, they were getting results in week 5 or week 6 or week 8 or week 10 or whenever they got the results. So there's no rush. I'm much more concerned that you do it right than I'm concerned about you do it fast. The time commitment on your end, which is a fantastic question from Brad, is 35 to 45 minutes to consume the training, another 2 or 3 hours a week for the next 7 or 8 weeks on implementation, focus, making the decisions, doing the operational implementation that you need to get the results that you want. And then after that, about 2, 3, 4 hours a week after that, doing your regular marketing, sales, and business development activity, underscore, which you should be doing anyway. Which you should be doing anyway, but you're probably not because you don't know what to do, you don't know what to say, you don't know what to send, and the whole thing is this clustered, kind of confused mess.
Love it. Love it. Makes perfect sense. Well, David, let's bring this baby home here. I mean, this was, again, an absolutely unbelievable training. And I say that with zero hype, with zero BS, so zero, give you a pat on the back. I mean, just the comments and the seeing the people's shifts and learning things. And again, if you see all that and you're like, oh my God, that's a free training, imagine the paid training here. And a big thank you to everyone that then, of course, signed up through the special link, the special offer that we put together especially for you, for Rise Nation, for Create Awesome Online Courses Nation. Thank you so much for coming out. Now, David, I know you want to bring us home. I know people were promised a free guide to stay to the end. There was all kinds of other stuff. And if you want to chat about anything to bring us on home.
Well, and again, I haven't hit the stop record button. So I always like to do my DSG style caveat that unless things literally blow up here in the next 60 seconds, there will be a recording. Because I know some folks had to pop off early. Some folks sent emails. I mean, a lot of people sent emails saying, oh my God, I can't make it. And so there's all kinds of craziness there. So we are going to keep this open for a very, very limited time. You're going to get an email with a couple of things in it. It's going to be the replay. It's going to be the slides. It's going to be the bonuses. It's going to be that 7 keys to speaker selection, guaranteed to turn your clients on, that meeting planner handbook that I have for you. It's going to be everything that you need to re-listen, re-watch, take notes on this training and teaching. And we will keep the link open until, I think we said what? Friday, Saturday, something like that.
I'm not sure. I'm sure you'll say in the email.
So just to be fair to the folks that had to pop off early and had to, check with their dog or their spouse or their accountant or something like that. But this is great, and watch for that email coming to an inbox near you very, very soon. And David, thank you as always. This was tremendous fun, and I'm glad people were loving it in the comments.
All right, my pleasure, and thank you everyone for attending. I know obviously you've got it's like when they have an airline, you have a choice in your airline. Who you choose to fly with. I think that's the worst version of it. But bottom line here, there's a lot of trainings out there, and I know that everyone's time is very, very valuable. And if you know me, I'm all about helping people monetize their passions and their personal brands. That's what I'm all about. That's why I teach online courses. But I love bringing in keyword select, people like David Newman to teach their very unique skill set, like professional speaking, getting paid to speak. I think we changed our terms today. When you're like, we don't teach professional speaking, we teach, getting paid because of speaking, right?
That's it.
Of coming in here and teaching you other skills that you can apply to your business, your brand, etc. So thank you so much for coming on. David, thank you so much for having me, and we'll see you guys next time.